I realize as empaths, a lot of times, like, we have love to give to others that we've never received in our lives before.
That we didn't even get.
Yeah,
we
exactly.
just have it.
We meet each other. It's like, it's like, oh, finally, this is the love we missed from heaven. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
And it's just so nice to be in a community of people like that. You know what I'm trying to
say? Right. And that's what I'm saying. It's time for us to come together.
Yeah.
And really just have an agenda, that we can agree upon, and just kind of, we
need to create
work
healing.
At it and build and create
exactly.
Community and different structures in
Bingo.
society.
That's exactly
basically, because we're going through a shift, and basically it's a free for all. It's whoever wants this energy can fucking get it. It's like, if you're going to take a back seat to it, then you're not actively creating. This energy is just available right now for anybody to use. And so there are other people using it for their means. They're trying to keep the status quo.
Correct.
Of all this shit, but it's up to the ones that are here and that are here for this call, and that are awakened, and they have an inner calling. They hear a voice, a trumpet, or anything. They're called to do this. It's up to us to start to move now.
Bingo.
It's start to move now, because as we're going to be needed. This is the time for us to move into place this is the transitional time, because we're progressing on the timeline, and the level of intensity is going to increase. It's going to increase, and things are going to get harder before they get better.
Correct.
And it's going to be, it's time for us to get prepared for the long haul.
Correct.
Because if you think the last couple of years have been something, you've seen nothing yet. You
Bingo.
Understand what I'm
That's
saying?
Exactly
and so we're going through we're going through shit now, because we're being prepared for, we're going to be the ones that they're looking to.
Bingo.
When the shit hits the fan. And it's going to be, this is the beginning of the chaos, and Donald Trump was the vessel for that.
Mm-hmm.
He is, and I said this in 2016, which was channeled. And I told my friend of mine that I used to channel shit to her all the time, because I was free, I felt free of just telling her all of my insights. But I was just like, she was like, "Oh, you think he's going to win president?" And I was like, "Yeah, he's going to win." And I was like, "You have to understand that, basically, there's so many levels to this shit. There's the 3D mundane level. There's the fourth dimensional shadow level that's being controlled, by lower entities, and then there's higher levels that, okay, even though those agendas are being, fulfilled and kind of worked out, it fits into a larger agenda, which is really kind of overall good, to be honest. And it's strange to explain that. It's kind of like this old saying that what the devil thought or something like that, God turned it for good. I don't know, some kind of Christian shit, man.
No, I understand completely.
But you know what I mean.
It talks about it in Revelations. Basically, Christ talks about his return.
It's like paradoxes. People don't understand paradoxes. They think that it's got to be a black and white thing. It's either one thing or the other. And I'm like, no, there's multiple things going on at once. So it's like, even though that's part of their plan, this is part of a higher plan, and it's all meant to happen.
Bingo.
Because this was the time that chaos was going to be anyway. And listen, this is a physical world. We have free will. Anything that happens here has to come through a vessel. And so whatever, the vessel that brings that energy forth, that energy is going to go to the least path of resistance, like water. So there's a willing person. That's how it's going to happen. I said he is going to be a channel for this chaos energy that's meant to be here anyway. This is a time of great shifting. And chaos isn't necessarily bad in the grand scheme of things.
Bingo, absolutely correct.
It looks bad when you have a perspective.
Not to me.
A 3D.
But yeah,
no,
most
if you
people,
have a 3D perspective, you have the perspective of an ant on the ground instead of the person that's like standing over the ant. You understand what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So everything, like anything, like if you step on a piece of grass and you crush like 10 blades, that's fucking chaos to that ant, and the world is ending. But it's not. It's a blade of grass, and it's going to grow back. relatively soon. You know, in the lifespan of an ant, it may look like it's a little longer, but it's not. Everything's going to come back into balance, and it really wasn't the end of the world. It's not anything like that. It's just a moment in time, and it's a cycle. And so, but from our perspective, we have bodies. We're humans. It's going to be a hardship. You know, it's going to be a hardship, and to just prepare and hunker down for that. But knowing that, you know, like another corny-ass Christian saying, this too shall pass.
Damn, you're really hitting these. You're like straight up Gandalf in this bitch right now.
I'm what, babe? I'm what?
I was thinking of Gandalf, you know.
Oh, Gandalf.
You shall not pass. I don't know. I didn't even think.
Yeah, okay. I missed the whole reference because I didn't know you said Gandalf. That was actually cool because I'm a nerd like that. I love sci-fi, fantasy, and all of that. That was actually cool.
But you're right. You're right, and that's why I'm getting my team of angels.
Right, and it is angels.
What empaths are.
Yeah, empaths are angels.
We're
angels.
Earth angels. That's exactly it.
And so that's what our call is to do. And so, like, you're like, what's my goal? It's like, that's what we're born for. We're born for that. I was born every lifetime for this. I've done this every lifetime. But, you know, I had a little hiatus because, you know, I wanted to take a break. I was sick and tired of being, you know, a lot of people don't like to take that shit. They don't take it lightly. You know what I'm saying? You know, Martin Luther King, every time he came, he got killed. It's like the same thing. You know, you come down here and you try to make some changes. You know, every time a black messiah comes up, you get fucked over. Mm-hmm. You understand what I'm saying? It's that type of situation. You know, when you come down here, a lot of times, especially if you're making some big noise, or even if you're just in a corner of society to where there's a power structure and you seem like a threat, you're going to get fucked up. So it's just like, I went through a lot of lifetimes of getting fucked up too. So it's kind of like I was just like, fuck it, I'm doing the monk thing, and I'm just excluding myself from society. But everything in this lifetime is saying that, you know, in the last couple of lifetimes that I cannot do that. You know, it's not even in my stars to do that. I wouldn't even be allowed to do it. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, we're here to end the ship. Like, we're here to end the ship once and for all and create something new.
This is at the precipice.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks.